people that some of society turn their backs on, and those are people that I gravitate to and try to lift up.
To speak to the community about his beliefs and methods when it comes to having relationships with residents as an officer.
I figured I'll bring him here to talk about how he was able to engage the community, how he has effectively community police. That way we can take that back to the table in our area. They want to form relationships here and lift people up the same way I do back home. And so our vision was the same. Just a big honor to travel here.
Thank you for teaching me to fight for love. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you more.
Amaya, thank you for being you, Officer Norman.
It's a...
Give me a hug.
Okay, just get some more background on how this whole topic came together, your book, Pieces of a Puzzle. You write in the book, and I thought this was fascinating because I've heard this before. I was hoping that you could tell them about the phone call that you had with Mr. Neely Fuller Jr., where you had been talking with him, you all had been speaking about his book and his views on white supremacy, and there came a point where he asked you a question. Can you go into more detail about that conversation and what transpired?
Yes. He asked the question, have I ever slept with a white man? And at the time that he asked that question, I hung up the phone on him because I had buried the experience in the back of my mind. So when he asked that question, it's just my natural reaction was to hang up. And then after I hung up, I called him back and told him that I had experience with a white man, and he hurt me. And he merely said, I thought so. And so this is how this is part of the research too. But that's how I met him. When I met him, he asked that question because it's the one thing that black females will not talk about. I didn't talk about my experience either. I was quiet, but not knowing that I had buried it in the back of my mind. So the experience that we have with white men are sometimes buried. Just like my experience was buried in the back of my mind. Other black females who are not talking about it, it's not an everyday subject that we can just talk about. So it is the one thing that black females will not talk about. And like I said, and that's for many reasons that I found in the research. Most of us have not. I'm not going to say most of us, but we have had experiences that are embarrassing. We had experiences that makes us feel guilty, and we have had experiences that traumatized us that we have buried in our minds.
I know one of the major points, if I read the book accurately, if I understood it correctly, one of your major contentions is that this is something that a lot of black females, non-white females, something that they don't discuss because they're confused, they don't understand racism, white supremacy, they don't understand white people, and the sense of shame and guilt. Thinking that something bad might have happened. I think you say in the book consistently, having been robbed of something, even if you don't quite understand what it is that's been taken, having a sense that you lost something in that sexual encounter with a white person. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have a vague we walk away with a vague notion that we have been raped or robbed. In my experience, I just wanted to forget about it.